Instead of rook d1, which Ceci said that was the best, Hikaru played the very natural human move, rook b3. We've seen king d7, rook takes g3, and I think we've seen king e6 and rook f4.
Look at Magnus,
That's
like
right.
a machine.
Rook f4,
They
h6 played.
transposed, I think, to the analysis you were about to suggest, Maurice.
And amazing. Magnus sees exactly that he is winning this position now.
Okay, take us through why. Let's say I go king h8 right here, right now.
Why?
And
Do you play h7?
h6, king h8, and the move rook to e7.
Yeah, I don't think you can
Rook
play
to
h7 because then how do you
E7.
ever get your king in?
King waits, and now?
Well, it doesn't give that variation after
Okay.
h6.
Okay, so
Let me
what
see
the
if
I think you need to
variations?
play
right.
rook g7 check and get your king to d6 at some point, don't you? I mean, you need to be able to play h7 without
Also, actually, also winning
with
is
your
rook
king already
f7.
involved.
So hold on. So we've got this situation. We've just seen the move h6. It's black
So why not
to
just-
play. I
why-
went king h8, and you wanted to go rook f7?
I wanted to go rook g7, but
Rook g7.
Is that bad? Okay, I guess it is.
Well, yeah, we
I'm going
both
to tell you,
saw
we
the
no
ball.
longer need a supercomputer to resolve the position because the plain old run-of-the-mill stockfishes can also realize this game is busted. And
After rook
Okay,
g7?
so the problem is we need rook f7 so that if rook takes e4, we can still play
And after h6,
king
just a
f5
second.
and king g6.
I apologize, Jen. After king e6, rook f4, h6 was played, king h8 was played, and Magnus just tempoed with his rook.
Yes.
He played rook b7.
I think we want to avoid playing rook g7 because there could be some stalemating tricks, right? That could be if we ever put our king on f5, for instance. Because in some we want to be able to meet rook e4 with king f5, right?
And then worm your way to f6. That
no,
g6,
but
pardon me.
the win now is becoming clearer and clearer because he's going to play rook. He's going to play rook to g7 check and put his king on f7, put his king on g6, and then move his rook away, and you're going to be
So
done.
he has played king g8.
King g8 has happened.
So you're saying that
Rook
the
check.
winning technique is king f7, and now I got to grab something, right?
Doesn't matter.
And then you're going to go here, and if I grab something, I've just got
Now
a
you're-
simple checkmate,
And
right?
your pawns are
Okay.
stopping you. But why didn't rook g7 immediately work? That was what I was wondering if there was some
I'm
little
not
trick
sure.
there.
I just want to
Because
see.
that was exactly what my idea was, to play rook g7 and then go around g6. But I saw the engine really hated my immediate rook g7.
Take on e4.
It was because you could take on e4 and then after king f7
Rook takes on g4.
and then after king g6 I'm down a tempo. Okay.
Yep.
So somehow you gained a tempo with your rook maneuvers.
Yeah, because your king came to g8, and then you
Yeah,
played rook.
okay, so I got it
rook
with the check. Yeah.
and you gain a free move.
And now
There's mate on the board.
Now it's
okay,
completely
so,
lost.
sorry, I'm going to refresh my board. I apologize to my audience as I'm going through these variations. They're tricky, but we do have this situation on the board. Rook b7 was played, king g8,
Yep, he's gonna
and we're
gain
all
that tempo
thinking
now.
that rook g7 is the winning move, with the idea you can't go to f8.
No.
That's a real bad idea because I've got rook g6 and row. This pawn is coming here and this rook is coming there. So that's why we have to go king h8. And then, Maurice, you're saying the most accurate is king f7 immediately?
Yes.
Okay. And we do have rook g7 on the board. We're expecting king h8 as the only move.
Nakamura doesn't seem perturbed. Somehow he thinks he's okay. He's put his king back in the corner, playing regularly. But what is he going to do about king f7? He must take on e4.
Okay. And then we've got this king g6
And
with
then
this
king
idea
G6.
of releasing the rook and just checkmating you from the...
So-
and he's
and now
played... Magnus has played the money move,
so
king
what if I
f7.
play, and now if I play rook a4,
Right. Rook a4, so you're going to be wanting to cover the last rank. And let's say I go rook e7, you're going to
Gotta
go
go back.
rook back. And then I think it's as mundane as taking and taking.
you just get to take all my pawns.
I get
because,
to take all your pawns.
because I can't play. What if I play rook g8? You just have.
Rook g8, by the way.
Rook g8, h7.
What's your
H7, right?
H7?
Your e-pawn
And I'm
is
still losing
no
all my
stalemate.
pawns.
And there's no stalemate. That's important. Yeah.
Yeah, still losing all my pawns. That's the problem. You just get all of them.
No, we don't need all of them. We just need the
And-
G-pawn.
Yeah, true.
That the players
true.
have caught up to this position. We've just seen rook takes e4, king g6 is on the board. We're expecting the rook to have to backpedal its way all the way to the, because of the threat of rook e7 and rook e8. So we thought rook, and Hikaru's reaching, we thought rook a4, getting as much distance as we can, and we thought rook e7, threatening mate in one, and he has played rook a4, by the way. Rook e7, threatening mate in one. You got to block that mate threat, and then it's just a king takes f6, and
Overwhelming
It's-
position.
curtains.
Absolutely finished. And I'm waiting to see Hikaru's reaction the moment he realizes that he has a lost position. But rook check first.
Probably even more
Rook
accurate,
check
right?
first.
Why not?
King to g8. Oh, sorry. It's actually rook a4. This is the position. A rook check. Oh, sorry. Rook check first by Magnus, putting the king on g8. No choice. And then rook e7, threatening mate. Again, you can't defend with the king because this guy,
I think now it's becoming clear to Hikaru.
Hikaru, is having a sudden realization that the defense he had counted on does not work. And he is forced to play king g8. Nothing to think about here.
There
it's
it
the
is.
only move.
He usually
This is
reacts.
weird.
He usually shows it. And I think now it's dawning on him. There it is, that this does not hold up. And his choice of giving away his a-pawn and playing for this e5 maneuver was not the way to play. I was impatient, looking to fix the position. And he has a tendency to do that in defense, not to sit and wait. He tried to create a draw on the board directly, a fortress,
Yeah.
and it turns out that it did not hold up, and now he's physically displaying the futility of the situation.
Because this move, rook h7, is actually kind of nice. He forces the king to g8. He plays rook to e7 or rook over, doesn't matter. The rook has to drop back to stop the threat of checkmate in one. And king takes, and a moment ago the king was on h8 and there was a rook g8. But now with the king on g8, well,
Take it.
the g-pawn is just, it falls, and with these two connected passers, that's all she wrote.
Note, by the way, he only has one move.
Yeah.
He only
and
has
he's
one
thinking,
move, and he's thinking. So
This is the exact
that speaks to
position.
the fact that he probably feels like he missed this move, although he would have lost anyway. But now that it's very, very clear, he's looking at it and he's realizing, and he only has one move.
Right.
There's no reason to sit here. Why not just make king g8
Exactly.
and suffer about it later? You're just losing time on the clock for no reason.
Right.
But it is now that it is hitting him emotionally, and he is very upset that this has occurred because he defended so well for so long, and then he just ditched his setup and allowed this for Magnus, and suddenly Magnus Carlsen is going to win and go into a three-way tie for first
Wow.
with a drawing of the lots to decide who moves on, giving
As if-
himself a
And
chance.
who's the odd man out?
And somebody will be the odd man out. Incredible.
As if we didn't have enough dramatic excitement. We knew the Siegfried Cup, despite the many, many, many draws and the fighting draws, we knew the Siegfried Cup always delivers. At the very end, we always get so much excitement.
And this other game going on right now that has so,
Nobody's
so
watching.
completely irrelevant.
But I do think
Except
that
the world
Magnus.
champion.
I think Magnus knows that game with MVL. I think he had that in his memory bank as he was watching this game.
And they're in a rook
turn into this
ending.
endgame.
They're somehow MVL has actually swindled an extra pawn, and he's in an endgame with two pawns to the good. But quite frankly,
All
not
eyes are on Magnus right
absolutely. So let's just stay with that game and not
now. And there we have Nakamura shaking.
a very
his-
despondent Hikaru. But that defense that was like the airbag defense, A5 and G5. It just failed to deploy.
Especially, it wasn't necessary, and
Wasn't
he's
necessary at
playing
all.
against the man
No.
who says, "I don't believe in fortresses." Talk about waving a flag.
Yeah, boy, but I mean, this is what it takes to win at the very highest level, and we've seen Magnus just grinding out these wins throughout his career. And we saw it earlier in the tournament against Sergey.
Yeah.
And Fabi is, pardon me, Hikaru is not going to be on Fabi's Christmas A list anymore. That's just,
Well, Magnus
Whoa.
hadn't defeated him in over 2 years after he said he was a regular customer of
Right.
Magnus, and then he finally defeated him with black, drew 6 games in a row. This one was just looking very much like a draw. Then made some
Absolutely.
really inexplicable decisions from a practical standpoint. It was better to sit and wait than it was to just toss
The
a
A
pawn and then toss your structure and dare the guy to figure out if there's a win. And you know, if there's
Magnus
a win,
said
Magnus
fine.
is going to sit there and say, well, I got an extra pawn and your F-pawn's weak. Let's see what it's like. So a very, in retrospect, but even when it was happening, it looked like a dubious decision on Nakamura's part. And it is simply crashed in his face right now, as this move will send him to 3 losses in this tournament as well.
Hikaru.
And we will bring you the drawing of the lots live as the other players are brought in. But yes, if the adjudication was based on judging and you had to pick which 2 players deserved it most to be on the playoff, how could you choose between these 3? Because it's so different.
Impossible.
Fabi maintained the lead throughout the tournament.
And he resigned.
And there it
The
is. Magnus
handshake.
Carlsen has joined the 3-way tie for first.